Golden Valley in George. It's Golden Valley because it's beautiful, but what goes on inside of Golden Valley is not always beautiful. And so a few years back, we just actually picked up on some street kids, started feeding them sandwiches, and the street kids just got more and more and more. And we realized we needed to do more, so one thing naturally grew to another thing, and now we have a full-time soup kitchen in Golden Valley in an area they call Poppendorp.
Golden Valley is classified in George as one of the poorest areas of the whole community of George. And since we started this ministry some years ago, we are totally dependent on the help of individuals in our George community to support us, to help us.
This is our heart because Jesus' hands looked like something and his feet did something. It walked places. And we have to start feeding them physically before we can feed them emotionally or spiritually. So the soup kitchen is us feeding them physically. And then we have many, many other things that we do to feed them emotionally and to feed them spiritually.
Two ladies just recently also were able, mom and a daughter, be able to forgive each other because of what the dad did years before. And it takes a long time to build the trust of these community members because they don't trust. For them, it's survival of the fittest. What is important today is getting my fix, getting my meal, getting what. And for us to come and share that there is hope, there is a better way. This is what we love to do. And we do it through, we feed 30 to 50 dogs every week, cats, puppies. And actually this mom and daughter that I was just talking about, we started a journey with her 2 dogs. And that's how we started to build the relationship. And out of the relationship, she was invited to the women's camp. So the animals opened doors for us that normally we would not have had. And it's very funny because the people admire us for doing that because the dogs are not biting us. It's a mystery for them. They don't understand it. But even the dogs, they just need love. And that is our bigger heart. Teach them not just to give them a fish, but to actually teach them to fish themselves.
Yes. What makes us unique is that we walk these streets with these kids, with the old people. We know their stories, we know their suffering. We know the abuse and the neglect that happens in the houses and even outside of the houses. There's a very high rate of unemployment, and because of that there's a very high rate of alcohol abuse and drug abuse, dacha use. And for this reason, our children are suffering tremendously. There is so many kids that live in trauma and in survival mode every single day. They don't have a hope. They grow up here. Some of them go to school, a lot of them don't. And then by high school, they drop out. Those that are in school get pregnant and just repeat a lifestyle of suffering, a lifestyle of abuse, a lifestyle of neglect with no hope for a better future. Often with tummies being empty, often going to sleep in a place that can't be their own shack because it's not safe. It's not a place of safety. Family is not a place of safety.
So even though we hand out physical items, food and clothing donations, our biggest heart is for the people to be transformed into a person that has purpose, a person that has fully functioning in their family as a parent, as a grandparent. We try to help with women's camps. Just this last weekend we had a women's camp with 18 of our ladies on the camp. God did amazing things by setting them free. Many of these women in the valley go through a lot of abuse and nobody talks about it. So we are able to counsel, they are able to forgive, they are able to walk in freedom.
Loves look like something I met Lauria last year. Almost I knew her a few months already, but I only started February with the Bible study, and then on October. She sent me for training, and a lot have changed when I started to work with her and the project. And it's to help my community to the better understanding of the children, how to treat them, because the other training that I was doing was how to meet the need of the children. And sometimes around here our parents don't know how to treat our children, because when a child is crying and it's just like you you don't want to listen, but it's not all because they is naughty. It's more like there's a need that the parents must need, and I didn't know that. So now I can see much clearer when a child is crying, or when a child is like our teenagers around, why they doing the stuff they doing, why they don't want to go to school. Around here it's like our parents don't know that the children need them. It's like from the younger ages, the children is much more independent, because at the age of 6 they still babies. But when you look at our children here around, it's like, wow, this little girl or boy is 6 years old, but they have a mindset of a 10-year-old. So now I understand much better now how to help them. And like our teenagers, it's very sad what's happening in our community, and I really want to help our people, and then our old people, the sick people, and then I have the training of the HIV. The HIV training helped me also a lot to understand much more about our people, why they do such things, and so they really helped me a lot, and they're very beautiful people, special.
We have people that give us food, give us donations like in clothing, shoes. We always looking for help with school related things, clothing, stationery, backpacks, anything from a bathtub to a door. We are in need of many things. Many people have very little in their homes. We also love to help the elderly. The elderly is very neglected in this area. The elderly is usually dependent for, or not dependent, responsible for many of the grandkids that they have to look after, because the mom or dad is absent, even though they are maybe sleeping at the shack. So we help and support the elderly as far as we can. They come here to the soup kitchen, get a meal for the kids as well. And whenever we have, we give partials of food to them, blankets, clothing, any way we can help the support. We've helped in the past with ID things, SASA, any way we can help. With the children as well, we had a little boy not so long ago whose dad had a beef with another drug addict, and they set the boy alight on his bed while he was sleeping.
So our heart is to transform this valley for Jesus. Our heart is for the light of Jesus to come into this valley. Our heart is for this valley to be transformed so that it takes up the proper name, Golden Valley, and actually represent that name, that it will be golden. And for the love of Jesus to look like something, which is why we are called Love Looks Like Something. Because God's love looked like something. It says that when I was hungry, you fed me. And when I was thirsty, you gave me something to drink. And when I was cold, you gave me something to wear. And when I needed a place to rest, you gave me a place to stay. And when I was in prison, you visited me. And they asked Jesus, but we never did this for you. And he said, when you did it to the least of my people, you did it to me. And this is our heart. It's to feed these people. It's to clothe these people. It's to give them a place to stay that's safe. And it's to visit them in their darkest places so that they can exit the place of prison. For a lot of our children, Golden Valley is a prison without doors, a place that they have no way or hope to exit, no future, no hope of a better job one day. And our heart is to give them that future, that the love of Jesus manifests among them so physically that it actually changes them.